unveil the world's longest inverted roller coaster, Banshee. And I guess we can tell by the smiles we've been seeing this morning that you enjoy the ride. Well, we want to thank everybody for taking time out to be with us today as we unveil this ride, and I'll turn it over right now to the Vice President General Manager of Kings Island, Greg Scheid.
Thanks, Don. As we kick off today's event, I would like to say a special thanks to all of you in attendance this morning who not only braved the cold temperatures, but also dared to take on the road record-setting coaster, Banshee. How about that? How many of you have already faced your fears and ridden Banshee this morning? And how did we do? Fantastic. 253 days ago, I had the distinct privilege to stand here and announce what was the single largest investment in Kings Island's history. And what a period the last 253 days have been. Mother Nature could not have been any meaner to us, and she's got playing tricks with the temperature, the snow, the rain, and it's been unlike any other construction period that we've ever faced here at the park. She was crazy enough to snow on us just 48 hours ago. Despite these setbacks, we're here this morning to showcase Banshee and many of the other improvements that have occurred over the course of the winter. These park enhancements could not have been possible if it was not for the dedicated associates here at the park and for our partners in the construction. The list of contractors who worked on Banshee are many, but I want to say a special thanks that go out to Adina out of Mansfield, Ohio for their assistance in the steel erection of Banshee, Middleton Construction right here in Mason, Ohio for all the concrete work and all the pier work that occurred, and for the general contractor Reese Campbell from Cincinnati, who was responsible for building this beautiful station house. I would be remiss if I failed to mention the entire Kings Island maintenance team, which was led by Russ Flatt, our Vice President of Maintenance and Construction, who's retiring at the end of May. Banshee will be his last major project that he oversees. Well, that is until he's left at home chasing multiple grandchildren around the house. What a project to end your career on, huh? Congratulations go out to Russ. His entire team was challenged throughout the winter. Yes, have a hand for Russ Flatt, please. If I know Russ, he's probably sitting having a cup of coffee back in his office saying, whoo, this one's over with. His entire team was challenged throughout the winter, and our on-site manager, Bobby Shearing, has literally worked 7 days a week, 12 hours a day for the past 6 months, ensuring that come today, April 17th, you would be able to enjoy the best new coaster in the industry for 2014 Banshee. Woo! There were a few critical decisions that had to be made in the development of this attraction, and some of those decisions date back several years. First, where should we design the new attraction? And will we need to replace any of our existing attractions to do so? This was one of the toughest decisions that's ever been made here at Kings Island. 2 attractions were to be removed, and the repercussions of removing an icon from the park was going to create a firestorm of activity, especially on the social media sites. We decided to go for it, and so it was announced. We removed the go-karts. That decision's over with. Second, what type of ride are we looking for, and which manufacturer in the industry could supply said ride? The one concept that was missing from our wide variety of attractions was a suspended coaster with a high thrill factor. Wonder where we could find a manufacturer that could do that for us. Look no further than B&M, who had manufactured suspended coasters from within the Cedar Fair family before, but none like Banshee. At Eve, she keeps screaming. Rob Decker, our corporate VP of Planning and Design, will be speaking in just a minute, and he will give you more of an oversight into the concepts behind Banshee and B&M's involvement. I will say, Walter Bollinger and his entire team at B&M totally exceeded all expectations that we had with this attraction. Do you agree? With choosing B&M as our manufacturer, we were also able to use Claremont steel fabrication, which is right down the road, for all the columns and the track. When you consider the amount of fabrication, manufacturing, and installation, this ride is Ohio proud. So we give you the world's longest inverted coaster that is similar to the Beast and Diamondback, that give you distinctly diverse rides, one in the daylight and one at night. If you were not here early enough this morning to see the light package, I really encourage you to come back tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night. I think we're open about 140 more nights. So come back and see the light package. It's one of a kind. And today by far marks the largest media day event in the history of Kings Island. As a matter of fact, it may be the largest ever in Cedar Fair history. Today would not be possible without the assistance of numerous of our coaster clubs and fans across the country and world. I mentioned a few here that are in attendance. The American Coaster Enthusiast, ACE. Okay, the Great Ohio Coaster Club. How about those Buckeyes? All right. Theme Park Review. Coaster Buzz. Coaster Crew. There we go. The Western New York Coaster Club. There she is. Coaster Fusion. The National Amusement Park Historical Association. Coaster Zombies. The European Coaster Club. I think I heard them all the way from Europe. The Dark Ride and Funhouse Enthusiast. In total, we had 28 states, 2 provinces in Canada, and Great Britain represented today. Thank you very much. Woo! My only wish, by the end of the day, every one of you can walk up and say you've ridden the best coaster for 2014, Banshee. Woo! And at this time, I'd like to invite Rob Decker to the stage.
Thank you, Greg. Wow, what a crowd. We're so happy that you're here today. This is a great day. I love Kings Island. I grew up in this park. I mean, this is my home park, you know, so it's really special for me to be here today. How many people were here at 4 in the morning? Woo! Oh my gosh. So you knew you were going to ride all day, but you wanted to be first in line, didn't you? No, I know how that goes. I was here the first year the park opened in 1972. Some of you might not have been born then, but I can remember like it was yesterday. I had the best day here. It was awesome. It's on International Street, looking up at the Eiffel Tower. Me and my buddy Scotty, we were scarfing down a large pizza. We were riding rides all day, and he had this great idea. He said, let's finish this off, run over to Racer, which was a monster ride in '72. John Allen. They brought him out of retirement to build it. A monster ride, and that was the ride in the park. And he said, hey, let's scarf down this pizza and let's go over and ride Racer until it closes. So I'm like, okay, great, let's go. All right, so we're on it, we're riding. I think it was trip 29 or something like that. And something had to give. My zest to finish before the end of the night or that pizza. Guess which one? So that wasn't my proudest moment in the park, and I'm that guy. I'm sure operations still has my picture up over on their bulletin board. But it was a bit of a mess, but I mean, it's still the best day. So I'm really glad you're here. A lot's changed, you know, over the years. And in 40 years of coaster design, you can imagine what's occurred. But today, you know, to develop a coaster this scale and get it to be so precise, it's like a modern miracle. But with today's computers and the software programs and everything that goes into it, you know, everything gets modeled down to the finite, every pathway, every turn, every curve. And enter into the scene is B&M, Bolliger and Mabillard of Switzerland. I mean, come on, let's give it up for them. Woo! Did a terrific job. I can remember the day that Greg Scheid and Russ Flatt and myself, Walter Bolliger, came over and we walked the site and we looked at it and we wanted to, you know, do all the right things. We wanted to deliver a great ride, a great experience for you. But we had this site, you know, and so that's part of the constraint of the ride, is trying to figure out, well, where it's going to go, and then how do you make it all work? And, you know, if there's one thing about creativity, when you're faced with a series of obstacles and restraints, you know, creativity is going to win. And we chose to get a few elements up in here to be majestic on the midway. But when you look at that hill and that 60 foot of gain and the inertia that you get by doing a 17-foot drop and then coming off of that hill, do a 0G roll and end up down on the bottom, those elements of that bottom of the hill are gigantic. And you don't get that on a flat site. So Walter, in his brilliance, said we can use this, use it to our advantage. We ended up with more down there than we would have ever had in enormous hills. And that's just, I mean, the credit to the thinking outside of the box, using what you have to make something really special and deliver it then for the people who can really appreciate it. So when you're in those big elements, something magical happens. You actually remember what occurred in those loops. You're in those loops, you're in that climb for a sustained period of time. You feel the force, you're in and out of it at just the right moments. So I'm very proud to be associated with this, and I got to give B&M just all the credit in the world for designing such a great ride for us. Woo! With us here today is Sophie Bolliger and Eric Barra, who worked on the design team. Walt, who got the ride going up for us. Let's hear it for them. And I just want to echo, you know, what Greg was saying. You know, as a company, we have parks, you know, across North America and in every region. We're especially proud that we can hire the best people in those regions to pull things off. And you know, just coincidentally, I think it's just over that hill and down and upriver a bit is the Claremont Steel Fabricating Group. Representing them here today is Ken Miller. See Ken back there. And I got to tell you, that's not just an Ohio shop. That's a very special place. They are all union, and they are the hardest working people I've ever met. Last year we got a chance to tour the plant. There are 80 people in there, and when they take on a project, it is precise and it is on time, and when it gets here, it snaps to fit. I got to tell you, it's just a miracle what they do, and I think they do a fantastic job. The All-Ohio team that Greg mentioned, we're especially proud of, from the construction crew, Ari Middleton at Dina and Reese Campbell on the station. Just did a terrific job working through the winter, getting everything prepared. And then the professional group is all a Cincinnati team. They're born and raised here. They love chili and ribs and ice cream, and you know the names, and the pizza, same as I do. And Tony Ravignani and Associates, architects, and workplace on landscape with Ken O'Day. Structural engineering is Schaefer Inc. And MEP is KLH Incorporated. So let's hear it for those folks. Woo! And again, I know it's hard to thank everyone, but Greg's so right. Russ Flatt really did a fantastic job on this. He always has, and across his career of building parks with his father, who started in the business. Russ started when he was 12 at Coney Island and has worked, hard all of his life. I got to tell you, he really championed this ride, so I'm very proud to have had the opportunity to work with Russ. So thank you all for being here and making history today. And I hope you love this ride as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. So what I'd like to do now, we're especially proud to have a representative of the state of Ohio, Mary Cusick. She's with the state of Ohio, and she is the Director of Tourism. So let's hear it from Mary.
Hey, I was going to say a big hello, Ohio, hello, good morning. However, most of you have been here since 4 a.m., so you're probably ready for lunch, I would say. Really, I feel so privileged to be here. It's a thrill to be a part of an amusement park celebration where they're known for thrill rides, right? And it's also a privilege to represent our governor, John Kasich, and our Director of Development, where Tourism Ohio lives, to congratulate the park, the leadership of the park, to all of you, the fans, who really make it happen and make it all go, so to speak. So Greg Scheid, the leader here, is also a leader statewide with our Tourism Ohio Advisory Board, and we appreciate him for that too. I'm lucky. It's my job on behalf of Ohio to promote all that is Ohio cool. And we are in the moment with the most cool thing happening in Ohio right now. In fact, I feel as if it's an international incident, if you will, in a good way, right? Because you've heard a lot about, not only in representation today, but in terms of reputation. And it gives whole new meaning to compete globally and play and enjoy locally. Because when we think about the Banshee, right here, and already this morning we saw tweeted that it's the absolute best invert in the planet, right here. And you heard that it was designed by an internationally renowned firm. It's going to be enjoyed by people from all over the world. But here's the amazing thing. That Ohio Proud part, like how many people, okay, we have absolutely great food locally, right? Ice cream, we have local pizza, we have local chili, I like a local craft brew. Who in the world has a locally made coaster of this caliber? Nobody. It's amazing. And we tend to take, sometimes I think, those things here in Ohio, because we have such a great access to them, we forget and take them for granted. So this is an amazing moment. The honest truth is, having a lot of big fun makes a big economic impact in this state, in Ohio. And right here, Cedar Fair, our partners, Kings Island, Cedar Point, think about the investment in capital they make right here in this community, and it's amazing. Think about the investment they make in capital, just keeping these parks great, so that when we visit, they're viable, they're sustainable, and they are worth the trip, so to speak, from places far away from here. And the other thing that I don't want you to forget, they invest in their people. The research that we see, people want to travel, people want to have an experience. It's not just getting a t-shirt, although that's a good thing too here. They want to have the experience. It's that memory. It's that connection with family. Cedar Fair has about 4,000 employees here, and they invest in those employees too. And that team is what delivers on our experience. They're behind-the-scenes heroes and heroines, and we appreciate Cedar Fair for the investment in their people. And finally, the investment in community. Now, I don't know if some of you are going to do the all-night shift here, but you know tonight there's a wonderful fundraising initiative that goes back to the community, right, for a kid again. And it's pretty amazing. They don't have to do that, right? People want to come here and experience this. But to share it and then to give back to the community at the same time is really an amazing thing about Cedar Fair and that team. So what I want you to think about when you're on the Banshee, it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds long, the way I understand it. During that time, in this world, 580 little babies are going to be born while you're on that coaster. 2.4 million photos in that 2 minutes and 40 seconds are going to be uploaded on Facebook, and more than 10 billion searches are going to occur on Google. There is absolutely only one Banshee and one incredible adrenaline rush like this one, and you're on it. So get in touch with your inner Banshee, have a little fun, and congratulations to all of you who are fans who make it go, and to Cedar Fair for all you do. Congratulations.